Good morning, Internet. This is the old fat dad, and welcome back to another beautiful day on the Goober Nation gun range. Beautiful but cold. Today we're going to be looking at the king of the Magnum rimfires, the 17 Winchester Super Magnum. Let's go to the table. For comparison's sake, here are three other popular rimfire cartridges. Got the 22 long rifle, the 17 HMR, the 22 mag, and finally the 17 Winchester Super Magnum. Some of the biggest complaints about the 17 Winchester Super Magnum and one of its biggest rifle platforms, the Savage B-Mag, is that the quality isn't quite there. So with the ammo, people have said that you're not going to see consistent results as far as speed. One round will be wildly different from the next, and then the actual rifle doesn't have a very accurate barrel, or the actual stock system is too flimsy to be able to support a heavier barrel, and it touches, and you get all sorts of accuracy problems. So let's address those first two things, and we'll move on to the fun stuff. As far as speed, here are 4 shots over the chronograph. 3,077. So it's going pretty quick. It just knocked my chronograph off. Let me see if I can get it back on. Round 2. 2,900 and something. Round 3. I think my battery's dying on my chronograph here. 3,096. And as you can see, when the chronograph manages to stay on from shot to shot, we do have some variance. They're not super consistent, but the claimed speed of 3,000 feet per second has been reached, especially if you take it on average there. A couple of them dipped a little bit below, a couple of them were a little bit above. As far as accuracy, here's some shots I took at 100 yards, and the results are up here. There's 5 shots. I have it sighted in for 50 yards, so we're a good bit high at 100. Looks like an inch or two high. And then I was sighting in, my next group of shots got mixed in with my sighters there, but it's those 5 right there. And again, I was aiming way down here, so we're about 2 inches high on that one. According to my ballistic app, though, it looks like we are sitting right at that 1 MOA mark, and these are the first shots with this rifle. It is brand new. I didn't even clean it out. We just took it from the box straight to the range. So there's a good chance that those groups might tighten up. Also, could be me getting used to the platform, getting used to shooting this. Now we've established that the rifle's doing okay. We've got 1 MOA-ish at 100 yards, and the ammo it's okay too. I mean, it's sitting right there at the 3,000 feet per second mark. What are the actual differences between the Super Magnum and a regular old HMR? I've got the small game simulator, I've got some Diet Sprite, and I've got a nice place to make a big old mess and see what kind of damage this big guy do. Alrighty, we are set up at 25 yards with our small game simulators, and I have put 3 of them out there. Let's see if this Super Magnum can set itself apart and really put a kerthunkin down on these bad boys. Here we go. Okay, alright. I couldn't see a whole lot from this angle. Let's go down there and check out the results. Okay, so you've already seen the results with the slow-mo, but I'm gonna just walk through this real quick before I show you the close-ups of these cans here. So real quick, this is the round we're using here. Alright, there's our round there, and you can see that little red tip on top of it. It's a plastic tip. This is a ballistic tipped round. It's designed to expand rapidly. It hits, kind of blows up to a million different pieces. So it's not really a round designed for penetration. With that in mind, boy did it work as designed. So I'm gonna go in reverse order. First, our last can of dog food. is pristine, untouched. Didn't make it there. This was the middle can, and we've got a good sized hole going in, but again, nothing out the back there. And finally, our first can. Absolutely gutted it. So I was shooting at 25 yards because I was pretty sure that whatever happened would be a giant mess, and it's cold and I didn't feel like getting all nasty today with dog food on me. And I'm really glad I did that because there's nothing left inside. It just blew it out. You can see a pretty clear entrance right there, and then it just ate this can up. When I was shooting the 17 HMR, we were getting kind of similar results. It was kind of blowing out the sides of these cans, but whew, wow, nothing like that. We've got two mostly intact cans left. One of them totally untouched. The other one just got a little hole poked inside, but all the goodies are still in there. So it got me thinking, what does this 17 WSM look like at 50 and 100 yards? So I got one set up at 50. We'll hit it, then we'll do the 100-yarder. See what kind of damage it does out at those extended ranges. Hit it hard. That was 50. Check out the slow-mo and move it out to 100. $50 was pretty amazing. Let's see if I can get a good solid hit at 100 and see what kind of damage we do way out there. So as I'm sure you've already seen, this 17 Winchester Super Magnum is shredding cans out at 50 and 100 yards. Here is our 50-yarder, and it's in pieces. Now this thing was previously hit, so you know that might have contributed a little bit to the massive damage we see here, but I'm still pretty darn impressed. Now, just to note, these are not pop-top cans. These cans have the lids sealed on there for can openers to open them, which is important as I show you our 100-yard shot. So not as completely destructive as the 25 and 50. There's our entrance right there. And then take a look at the top though. The top is completely ripped off. This thing is not a pop top, like I said, and you can see the round is just taking these lids and cutting them to shreds. The back of the can is split. At 100 yards, this thing is still putting out a ton of damage, which leads me to think that maybe this isn't really a small game cartridge, especially if you plan on trying to eat what you shoot. Might not be much left. All right, let's wrap up our testing with the good old Diet Sprite. Got to clean off my little shooting table there anyways. Gosh, I guess I'll put 3 of them up there, although I don't think, from what we've seen, it has much chance of penetrating past the first one. Just in case, we'll put 3 up there and see how the old Super Mag does against some Diet Sprite. Got 3 cans of Sprite, 25 yards, 117 Winchester Super Magnum round. Hopefully powerful enough to spray all that dog food off my table, clean it up for me. Here we go. Wow. Oh wow, we got a squirter. Let's check out the slow-mo. So here is our first bottle, split from head to toe, right in half. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this from a rimfire round. Very impressive. And then second bottle, looks like it's largely intact, but she's leaking just a smidge. Just got a little sliver of a piece go through that second one, enough to pop a leak. I think I see it floating around there. Not really worth trying to get though, because it is super tiny. Third bottle, third bottle, totally untouched, just got knocked on the ground. I gotta say, the 17 Winchester Super Magnum looks like a decent little round. Hits pretty accurately out to 100 yards, does a ton of damage. Probably not the best choice for your small game hunting unless you're moving up to raccoon, possum, beaver, maybe groundhogs, coyotes, pigs, things like that. The bigger of the small game, I think it'd be a great choice, and it can reach out there and hit them. So with all this potential, it seems like such an innovative, interesting round. There's just one extremely serious drawback we haven't touched on, and that is, I think this poor little round right here is likely going the way of the dinosaurs, and that is to be non-existent anymore because it's not being supported. While there's lots of the rifles around, these Savage B-Mags are still for sale pretty much everywhere at decent prices. The ammo, you can't find it really. I ended up spending about $1 a round on this stuff. That's ammo that's usually around the 20-25 cents a round. If you can find it now, you're gonna pay a premium for it. And that's really too bad. This, like I said, has a lot of potential. I think it's a really neat rimfire round. It does things that the other rimfire rounds don't do. But its future is just not looking so good. And that about wraps it up for me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.